hair looks weird today. Ugh. What are you doing? What are you doing here? What's up, everybody? I'm Callie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is hopefully in focus the whole time. So today's topic is more on the serious, sensitive side. Right, Callie serious. But yeah, today's video is going to be more on the informative and educational side of YouTube. So if you don't want to learn a few new things, well, at any moment or time you are free to leave the video free of charge. And I won't take it too personal because some people don't have the stomach for this kind of stuff. Okay, so I know some of you are probably wondering, well, what is this so out of the ordinary video about, Callie? Well, I'll tell you. It's about, what is it about? Today's video is going to be about social anxiety disorder, SAD for short. And some of you may be wondering, what is social anxiety? I'm sure most of you don't sound like that, but if you do, or you are just wondering what the definition is. So basically what it is a chronic
means of an illness persisting for a long time or constantly recurring
mental health condition in which social interactions cause irrational anxiety. Kind of like my uncooperative hair today. Okay, much better. Now we may continue. Whereas psychologists, I'm trying to say this word for the past 10 minutes. Whereas psychologist Thomas A. Richards, I'm sorry, this is a serious matter, but I can't pronounce psychologist, Psyche Thomas, okay, better said, explains it more as the fear of being judged and evaluated negatively by other people, leading to feelings of inferiority, self-consciousness, humiliation, and depression. Now, anxiety disorders are the most common mental illness in the US, overall affecting about 40 million adults. And for those of you who love math and numbers like a second mother, that's affecting about 18.1% of our population every year. Although they are treatable, only about 36.9% of people suffering with mental illnesses are treated for them. With that being said, that brings us back to the social anxiety. Recent studies have found that social anxiety disorder is the third largest psychological illness in the US, with more than 200,000 US cases per year. That was me being blown away. So if I have your attention now, I will proceed to explain that there are two types of social anxiety disorders. One is specific social anxiety disorder, and two is generalized social anxiety. I have that one. An example for specific social anxiety is the phobia of speaking in front of a large group, and pretty much only that phobia, whereas people who suffer with generalized social anxiety become nervous and uncomfortable in just about any and all social situations. And I definitely suffer with generalized social anxiety just because when I was in high school or any part of my school journey, speaking in front of the class was definitely my #1 trigger. Just even getting up to sharpen my pencil, raise my hand to give an answer, even if I had the answer, getting up to get a tissue, turning a paper in, or raising my hand to ask a question about a very crucial part in a mathematical equation. And you know, that's probably why I'm not the greatest at math. It's because I didn't ask enough questions, because I felt like I was the only one going to be asking the questions because no one else in the class raised their hand, because apparently I was surrounded by mathematical geniuses, which I highly doubt, because some of those people didn't even graduate. Anywho, pretty much anything that involved my social participation in school gave me anxiety, and I got nice and pink. Which brings me to my next point, triggering symptoms of social anxiety disorder. Typically, people with social anxiety experience significant emotional distress in the following situations: meeting people of authority or of importance, being the center of attention, being introduced to new people, being teased or criticized. And the next 4 are my top triggers: meeting other people's eyes, eye contact, making phone calls in public, embarrassing easily, or what I like to call getting cherry-faced. Yes, I love that one. And feeling insecure or out of place in social events. To put into perspective, you're in a group of people, they're all socializing freely and effortlessly, and you're sitting there frantically running around in your head, heart's about to palpitate out of your chest because you don't know what to say. Next are some of the emotional symptoms to social anxiety. Nervousness, high levels of fear, automatic emotional negative cycles, that's a big one. Excessive sweating, trembling, and muscle twitches. Here's a fun fact. Something about my disorder that I've recently noticed is that I've adapted a nervous twitch or tic. Majority of the time I find myself cracking my knuckles when I'm uncomfortable or nervous and anxious. Or I find myself biting the insides of my cheeks on the rare occasion that I'm not chewing gum, for that matter. Has nothing to do with my halitosis. Everything to do with the social anxiety. And even sometimes I actually find my bottom lip doing a weird twitch and goes to the side, which only increases my negative processing towards the whole situation. But that's when I really try my best to focus on my intentional breathing meditations and bring myself back to the present moment and just really try to calm myself down mentally. And then physically I start to replicate what I'm feeling and thinking, and then I feel a whole lot more relaxed. And I think that it's really important to have that ability to ground yourself when you're really feeling anxious and out of place. You just got to remind yourself that this very uncomfortable moment and situation is only temporary, and it does not define the rest of your life's journey. And that's all you got to really tell yourself, to come back and refocus your intentions and be okay. So by now, I hope some of you are on the edge of your chair biting your nails. Hopefully not that. But if by now you are wondering what may cause an anxious twitch, allow me to enlighten you. Behaving apprehensively stresses the body out, and a body that becomes overly stressed can cause the nervous system to behave erratically. And when that takes place, it can then potentially cause nerve impulses to fire erratically. And this symptom, by all means, is not one muscle triggered. It can affect any and all of the muscles throughout your body. And in serious cases, people can develop a dysmorphia.
Dysmorphia means deformity or abnormality in the shape or size of a specified part of the body.
Concerning a part of their body, which is usually their face, in which they begin to perceive themselves irrationally and negatively. And I think to even the most minimal extent, anyone can relate to that, because I feel like we all get in these little coves of insecurity and start experiencing unhealthy feeling habits. But as humans, you know, we do that from time to time, and we start to think negatively about ourselves. But I think that it's important that we don't let it get that serious, and we don't let it become a dysmorphia. And I think that if you do feel that way, you should definitely refocus your intentions again and just really look inside and not worry about what's on the outside, because ultimately it doesn't matter. What matters is what you put in the world and what you leave behind once you leave this earth. Was it good or was it bad? You know, I think that's really all that matters in that sense. In conclusion, who have I become? Sound like a talking essay. Social anxiety is a fully treatable condition and can be overcome with effective therapy, work, and wait for it, wait, a little longer, hold on, not yet, almost there, okay, wait, give me a drum roll. Patience. See what I did there? Patience is very crucial, and any kind of mental disorder condition, just any health condition, I believe that patience is the key to all things great and powerful. And it's something that I struggle with day to day, just in life alone, not even just with my social anxiety. When you're patient and you wait and you gain knowledge and you enlighten yourself and you explore and you appreciate what you have in the meantime, I think anything is possible. Anything you can think of. Many people have actually found that cognitive behavioral therapy works for them. Some people choose the path of medication. I, for one, don't necessarily support that option for various reasons we won't get into. And then some people never even probably take the time to address their chronic condition, and in return they suffer severely from it. I personally deal with my condition without therapy or medications. I don't think that mine is entirely too intense for me to go out and still be a human, because I work in retail. Like, I'm around people all the time, and I know you're probably thinking like, Callie, how can you work in retail if you have social anxiety? Well, it comes and goes. Honestly, there's times where I feel very uncomfortable at work and I'm just like not feeling it. I'm not feeling good in the clothes I'm wearing. I'm feeling insecure, and I don't want to help customers because I don't want to reflect this insecurity and self-consciousness onto them and ruin their shopping experience. Whereas on the other hand, I feel completely forward and upfront with everyone. I don't fear their judgment, and yeah, I challenge myself to step out of my comfort zone so that I don't become enclosed and become this digital recluse living in a tiny box forever. You know, I think that it's good to challenge yourself and to get cherry-faced every now and then, because if you don't, I don't think it's ever gonna go away if you don't address it and you don't practice it. So whatever makes you uncomfortable, slowly but surely go out of your way to put yourself into that situation and overcome it, because that's the only way that you're going to do it. And that's what cognitive behavioral therapy is, to my knowledge. And they kind of role play, I guess. And so yeah, I mean, if you can't afford to go to therapy, or there aren't those types of options in your area, I think by all means, grab a friend that you trust, grab a family member that you trust, and ask them to help you practice what triggers your social anxiety. And I think in the meantime, you will survive. You will overcome it, because I have faith in you all. And yeah, so don't ever feel like you're alone if you have social anxiety disorder, because you can always come back to my channel and your girl's got you. I got you. Matter of fact, this right here, this is a symbol of overcoming, kinda. We went to Foodie Fest yesterday and it was just really, really crowded. And when it's crowded, I get really uncomfortable and I feel like people are staring at me. I don't know who to stare at, what to look at, what to pay attention to, what not to look at, you know. And nervous twitch was kicking in, couldn't crack any more knuckles. They were hurting, they were stiff, and yeah. So got a little uncomfortable last night, but look, I'm alive, I survived to tell the story. So have faith in yourself. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, learned a little bit about this mental illness. I think it's important that we as a community address these kinds of issues, because when they're swept under the rug for so long and they're not addressed, and your children and your family and your friends suffer with these kinds of disorders, they don't feel like they're safe to talk about it or address it themselves or seek help in bettering themselves with the condition, because they don't feel safe, you know? When we don't talk about it, we don't bring awareness to these kinds of things, progress is paused, and if anything, it's like a regression in progress. So yeah, I think it's important that we raise awareness for all mental illnesses, and we just help each other along by spreading love and positivity and just encouraging others to be their true selves and to never let a title define the rest of their lives. Because I don't walk around saying like, I got depression, I got social anxiety, I got this, I got that. It's not stapled on my forehead, even though sometimes I feel like it is. I don't let that define the rest of my journey. So I hope that it doesn't for you, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. Just be the best version of yourself, and don't forget to smile and spread a little extra love today, okay? Okay. Do it for your girl. She's gonna be proud when you do. I'm getting cotton mouth. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you didn't, crickets. Leave me a comment down below if you suffer with social anxiety. I know some of my subscribers do, they have mentioned it, and I just want to let you guys know that I love reading your comments. I read all of them. Let's move forward together with love and positivity. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!